All right, welcome everybody to Matrix Towers. It's Demos Day for Matrix Live. We've got two things. We've got Halfshot, who is going to tell us all about Microsoft Teams Bridge, and Hubert is going to demo his message layer security work. So, Halfshot, you ready?
Yeah, well, go. Right, looks reasonably good latency, doesn't it? Right, so Teams Bridge, and this is a Teams instance. This is one that's been heavily sort of corrupted by many bridges I've made over the years. But this is the Teams side, and on the Matrix side, you can see my heavily modified and themed element client. What we've got here, notably, that's different is we have a space. When we produce a space UI, it's sort of fully bridged into a space, which is, I think, fairly new. You've got all the users in your team have appeared on the space side, or your rooms are automatically bridged in. I'm also going to show me creating a brand new channel. Testing something I've not used yet. Stuff there, so I create that. And then if I say something so the Teams knows I've created it, then in theory, if everything holds true, get an invite through, say hello to that. All your members get joined in and synced up. If you go back to your space, you'll see that the channel has appeared in the space. So basically, it's completely bridged in Teams experience. Everything's sort of mapped one-to-one. And to be honest, it's fairly usable, I think, at this point. You could probably work out how to use this. So that's one aspect of it. The actual bridge itself is here. So we say hello. There's a bunch of people in here. I'm hoping they can say hello back to prove this all works. Of course, they're saying hello from that side. So let's see if we go over to the bridge itself. You see a bunch of people saying hello, it's Brendan. You can see we've even got avatars, which is something fairly new for the Teams Bridge. Then if we go and say hello to one of them, everyone's saying hello in different ways. Do we have a wave emoji for Teams? We do. Excellent. Hopefully that might even bridge back in a sort of a thread. It does bridge back in a thread. Hey. There you go. And yeah, everybody's hit. For one last feature, as with the RSC bridges, we always do, because they always have an RSC bridge. When we get these demos, we say hello from RSC, and that will neatly pop in right at the end there. So you have bridges to RSC, and if you can imagine it, you could also have Slack, XMPP, Gitter, etc., etc. So this is basically now a complete Teams bridge. It also does do DMs, though I've not told Rick to DM me, so probably won't be able to demo it in time. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, so it's a complete Teams bridge. It all works fine. It's also one of the most performant bridges we've got. I've actually should really fine-tune them maybe with something like 50 megs, which is much better than the RSC bridge. So yeah, that's the Teams bridge.
Super cool. It's really great. Well, is there anything major that's missing that you want to add?
There's a lot missing on the. Oh, it's not exposed to the public. There's a lot missing on the Teams API itself, like ability to do edits and deletes don't exist on the Teams site, like they don't have an API for it. So I'm going to have to start begging them in the forums public so they can please have these APIs to bridge more things. We're basically at the limit on our side of what we can do. We're now waiting on Teams to catch up with us, in a sense. So yeah, there's more to do. We're just waiting on them.
What's the plan for video?
That's a separate project that will be happening in the background somewhere. That's another team's taking over. We're eventually getting integrated into Teams Bridge eventually, but it's a bigger project to do video integration.
Okay.
Is that the first space bridge?
That is, I believe, Julia may have beaten me to it, but it's the first one we've done for certain. Probably the first one.
Some kind of wormhole.
Yeah, wormhole bridge. Anyway, that's it.
Very cool.
Okay. Hubert, are you out there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
We can now.
Yep. All right. Yeah, so this is just a continuation of my demo from several months ago where I first demonstrated MLS over Matrix. So back then, if you all remember, I only had basically room creation. So I could create a room with Alice and Bob and they could talk, but once I created the room, I couldn't add anyone, remove anyone, or anything like that because I only had that bit of MLS done. I'm going to show how I can now do, I can now add new members or new devices rather. because I haven't implemented inviting new members into the room into my client. So yeah, this is my really ugly MLS demo client, which is basically just a single, it only shows a single room. I'm logged in as Alice and Bob. And as Alice, I am going to create a room with Bob. So there's my room. Bob is in the room. Bob is supposed to get a 2-device message from Alice, but it does not seem to have arrived yet. For some reason, I don't know if it's something wrong with my local Synapse, but 2-device messages sometimes take a long time to arrive. There we go.
This is the bug which bit me at FOSDEM live on stage, what, 2 years ago, that we still haven't got to the bottom of, whereas 2-device can take like 30 seconds to come through. Please, can somebody on Synapse look at it?
It's next to my list, Matthew. I promise to look at it
Oh, thank you.
Monday.
Right.
Okay.
Right, so I can write a message from Alice and Bob can see it. I can write a message from Bob and Alice can see it. Now, if I log in as Bob again in a different tab, if it actually logs me in. There we go. Yeah, so this is Bob on a new tab. So there's no key backup or anything, so I cannot see the previous messages. And right now, this device can't send messages to the room because it hasn't been added to the group yet. But if I issue an update command, then it will send a message to the room because it's detected a new device from Bob. So it's saying to, it's sending an MLS commit message, which is basically how participants modify the MLS tree. And so it's saying add Bob's new device to the room. And you can see that Bob gets the same message. So Bob's new device gets a 2-device message from Alice that includes all the group information. He can't decrypt the commit message because the commit message is only intended for already existing group members. So that's why he's unable to decrypt that. But if he says hello here, then Bob's old device and Alice's new device can see it. Bob's old device can send a message which his new device can see, and so now Bob's new device is just a normal participant in the room.
This is awesome. This is a world first, isn't it? To have actual proper MLS working over Matrix.
Yeah. So this is, I should repeat that this is just normal MLS. It's none of the fancy decentralized stuff, which I haven't worked on recently. So now that I have this working, now I can do some experimentation with the decentralized stuff.
Yeah, and is it using device lists at all to track who is in the room, or is it entirely the MLS tree which is dictating the membership?
So it uses the device lists to modify the MOS tree to figure out who needs to be added and removed. But for the actual encryption and everything, that's all using MOS. So once the client has updated the MOS tree, then it just uses that, and it just synchronizes the device lists when someone gets added or removed.
This is super cool. Congratulations. And it's all up on get.matrix.org, I assume.
Yeah, it's on our GitLab. Yeah, and it's the code that's there should be working as of today, but I will be making changes which may break things. So if you want to try it out, you'll have to get whatever commit is there right now. So you'll have to check out by date. or
By the
something.
time this goes out on Matrix Live, it will already be completely broken. But have a couple of hours before MLS works on Matrix. Awesome. Thank you, Hubert.
Brilliant.
Yep.
All right, folks.